It's Tuesday, and I think we're live. Let me double check that we're live on the internets and that it is Tuesday and it is the 3rd. We never know, and we are. Good morning, people. Happy Taco Tuesday. I fight for Taco Monday, Taco Wednesday, Taco Thursday. I don't think there's a bad day to have a taco, but that's just me. We have an incredible guest today that I am thrilled to get to hear the story of. You may have heard his story, but you haven't heard it from him. You haven't heard it from him. So this morning, I need you to buckle in. If you're a regular around here and you already know what we're about to do, I need you to share this out, get some folks in here. And we got a little quote for you today. Got a little quote for you. Here it is. This actually, I was going to say this comes from our guest today. It doesn't come from our guest. This is the favorite quote of today's guest. If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, oopsies, I'd spend 6 sharpening my axe. Now, I have a small idea what this could mean, but I'm not going to lie to you. If I had to chop down a tree, I'd spend about 6 hours calling somebody to see who could help me with that. You know what I mean?
Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind.
Good morning, folks. Heather Parody here, filling in for Glenn Lundy as he is away at NADA. It is a great morning because we have a phenomenal guest who we have heard a lot about. Tumba Cool is with us today. Good morning. Are you normally up this early at 5:30 in the morning?
Every day. This is actually been up for a while. Good morning, everybody.
What's a while?
Oh, Horseman, we up at 3 a.m. 3 o'clock in the
What?
morning. That's kind of when we first start. 5 a.m., that's when the barn starts to wake up. 6 a.m., horses are on the track. By 11 a.m., we're cleaning up. And by 12 o'clock, we're switching gears into all the business admin stuff. But the Horseman schedule, yeah, we're up way before sunrise.
I was not
Every day,
ready for
7
you.
days a week. Does not stop.
You get up at 3 a.m.
Yes. If I wake up at 4 a.m., I'm late.
And then what time do you go to bed?
I'm a senior citizen when it comes to that schedule. I try to take it down by 10, 11 o'clock at night, the latest.
That's not a senior citizen. I'm in bed at 9.
Well, you know what? It's the schedule of champions. You know, I finish my day before people started, and then I can kind of just cruise a little bit while everybody is like, all right, 9 a.m. traffic, and I've sent a million emails. I've responded to anybody who had any questions overnight, and it's just fun to be on chill mode while everybody else is what I call rushing to red light. So that schedule allows me to do that.
Man, I could already tell that I could talk to you for like about an hour just on that right there. If y'all
Yes.
if y'all don't remember, and I hope I don't mess this up, Tumba, so you tell me if I am and fill in the gaps. This man, we've heard his story, or at least how he connected with Glenn a couple of times on the show. Tell me if I am missaying this right here, but you are the one who is training the 800% horse.
Yes, glory to God. I've had the opportunity to meet Yoni Orantes. He's the actual licensed trainer who I follow his guidance when it comes to training the horse. I am the man that signs the contract that says whatever it takes to get it done, and I sign at the bottom. And so I am committed to doing whatever it takes. And so, yes, a part of what I do is training. But I do a lot more to make sure that we get to victory at the finish line of the Kentucky Derby with 800%.
You make me nervous when you said I signed the line that says whatever it takes. I was like, what does it take? Because if you're getting up at
Yep.
3 a.m., I don't know. Here, I'm going to show you
Yes.
guys a video. That's it, right? That's the horse, right? Oops.
Yeah, that is him. That is 800%. That's our big guy. He's in training right now, getting ready to go to the track, and we're taking our time with him. He's a very special project. He's not just a racehorse that you just put on the track and just burn him out. We're really taking our time and preparing him, God willing, to cross the finish line first of the Kentucky Derby in 2027.
There was one video that made me a little nervous. I didn't know what was going on. What's this?
Yeah.
What's happening? Is that brushing his teeth? What kind of toothpaste do y'all use?
Oh, water. Water is,
Water.
horses are animals in nature, so you don't really find any better solution than and this is why Kentucky bred horses are the best in the world. People from all around the world come to Kentucky to get a bred horse here. It's because we have minerals in our soil like no other place in the world. So when our horses are eating the hay, they're actually eating the soil as well and taking in all the minerals. And that with the fresh water that comes from our aquifers, we have basically a river of water underneath us here in Lexington. And when they drink that fresh water with all the limestone and all the minerals in it, it's something that God has just gifted Lexington, Kentucky with, and it keeps our horses healthy. But that scene right there, horses have what's called wolf teeth, and
Wolf
we
teeth?
remove those teeth. Wolf teeth, yes,
Like,
ma'am, and we remove them from racehorses because when the jockey has his reins, there's a bit that's in their mouth and that's kind of what gears them from left to right, or even pull them back, or letting them go freely. It's all being controlled by a bit that's in their mouth, and to prevent any damage to that tooth, or injuring it, we remove them in racehorses. So that this is after his wolf teeth were removed, and then now we're shaving them down, and this is all just for comfort of the horse while he's racing and has a bit in his mouth.
who's that baby?
That is my baby. So my son, this is my youngest son. His name is Sire Be Cool. He just turned 9 months yesterday,
That's a cool name.
and
That's an awesome
he's
name.
here. So this is like I completely embodied the life of a horseman, to the extent that I named my son Sire, the name, and that's the name of a father horse. The
Mhm.
stallion that will to make a big Sire.
And you have this. Y'all need to listen to this. 8 children.
Yes, 8 beautiful, amazing, extremely intelligent, kind-hearted, diverse. They all have different talents and skills, but I am blessed with 8 beautiful children. Yes.
I believe you that they are incredible. I'm just trying to say what's going on with you and Glenn, with all these kids.
Hey, you know what? God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." And when you got it, just and it's
Y'all took
not by mistake.
I tell
It's
you what.
not by mistake.
How
This
much
was
does
the
he give you a
plan
hard time that
from.
he has 9 now? Does he give you
Oh,
crap
oh, oh,
about
he's
that?
bragging all the time. Yeah, he brags all the time. But salute
Mhm.
to him. I'm taking it slow with getting to 9, but the goal is 10, so we're almost there.
I have one last little video for y'all to get to know Tumba, but drop in the chat. Let me know if y'all got any questions about his story as we go along. I'll be checking that. I see you, Kevin, in here, Trisha. We got Allison, we got Greg, we got Maria, we got Robin. And those of you who are watching over on replay, welcome. Drop a little line, let us know that you are here. But my last little video, just to kind of understand you a little bit more before we dig into your story and hear about this idea of reinvention, is this one right here. Let's go. Your girl struggles with feels. Y'all are praying. Tell me why you were praying.
Yes. Yes, that was a barn blessing. That was something that there's a lot of trainers where we train our horses, and they all think I'm crazy. They think I'm nuts. They
Good.
think a horse should be like a sanctuary. Everything should be quiet. There shouldn't be any children around. This is like the library. Nobody can raise their voice. And I'm the opposite. I want everybody yelling, screaming, praise God in the morning, kids running around. And I think that gets the horse prepared for race day when you have an audience of people cheering and yelling. So to me, it's just another form of not just anointing our barn, but also training our horses to be around crowds. So that was a beautiful moment that day. The Lundys came and everybody held hands. And we said, you know what? We may not have all the experience in the world, but we've got each other, we've got faith, and we're going to go full speed ahead to the finish line of winning the Kentucky Derby together. So we're not supposed to be the typical winners of anything when it comes to experiencing this. But God's presence has been there every single day in our barn, and that kicked it off. That was the beginning of that movement.
Man. What is important to understand about you and your journey, your story, in the context of who you become? Because I can look at this barn and these beautiful children and babies, and your son who's killing it in college right now and studying his blessed booty off. We'll just say that at 5:30 in the morning. And you've built a beautiful life, and you're doing some incredible work, disciplined, insanely disciplined. What brought you here?
Oh, so it started when I was a child.
Let's go. I'm
I
ready.
grew up. I, it's such an. I love my story, so I love sharing it because I really not just to brag about myself, but I hope God gets the glory in all of this and that it inspires somebody else. So when I was young, my parents would bring me to Lexington, Kentucky. I grew up in New Jersey, East Orange, New Jersey. Um, where Queen Latifah, Naughty by Nature, Lauryn Hill, Redman.
Yeah.
Some people would consider it, the streets, maybe. But in the summer times, I would travel to Kentucky to visit my grandmother's family, and it was night and day from what I was used to throughout the school year. And so I was amazed by my great grandfather and what he accomplished. My great grandfather, Walter Howard, he had 10 children, 9 daughters, 1 son, and here it is. We're coming to a family reunion that my great grandmother, Mary Howard, established. And I just
Mm,
thought it was so powerful in regarding legacy. And I wanted to step in those shoes. And so I used to draw art, and I would draw pictures of me owning a farm with a horse, and I even had like a chapel with a church up on top of the hill. And this was maybe elementary school. And I just locked in my mind, I want 10 children just like my great grandfather. I want a lovely supportive wife.
mm,
I want to be able to host all my family members coming over on
mm,
Sundays for dinner. And now this is my great grandfather coming to Kentucky in the summers for the reunions. But my grandfather, and then I'll come down to my father, but my grandfather was what I call just a true disciplined entrepreneur.
mm,
We grew up in a 6-family apartment building where my family, my father, my mother, and my siblings, we grew up in one apartment, but we had a tenant across the hall from us. So we had 3 tenants. And so I would go with my grandmother first of the month to collect rent, or I would go with my father or my grandfather if we needed to make a repair. So I learned entrepreneurship just living in an asset, which
mm,
was an apartment building. And then he also was an optician in the city of Newark. So he would have an eyeglass shop. He would, have tenants. And then my father is one of the most unique men I've ever met in my life. A complete artist. He created jewelry, and later on, I kind of put it together that my father was really just a blacksmith. He was crafting leathers. He was crafting metals, and then creating artwork out of them. And so he was just an original. I couldn't put him in comparison to anybody else. He would wear like a custom made leather cowboy hat that he built himself. He designed my mom's wedding ring. So I just had an influx of great men that I can look up to and
what a
say,
gift.
that's what I want. So I'm just a combination, I believe,
Yeah.
of those 3 men, and then also many other men that have inspired me along the way. But once I saw that vision when I was in elementary school of who I wanted to be, When I got to college age, I said, well, I want to go to Kentucky. I want to get out of the city. And when I came to Kentucky, I was like, this is where I want to live for the rest of my life.
How
I was
come? What was it
completely
about that?
convinced.
What is it about that?
I
Because
wanted
it's
to live in
vastly different.
nature.
Nature.
Nature. I wanted my grandmother, she used to say, go in the garden and pick your dinner. And just that idea of being able to have control over the food that you eat,
Mm.
it tasted, the air smelled different here. When people say, good morning, how are you? People responded. It
Yeah.
actually told you
Yeah.
how they felt. Where in New Jersey, it kind of felt like it was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And just keep on going. Everybody's in a rush. So it was just a
Yep.
little bit of a slower pace. It felt like a time capsule coming here. And
Mm.
it's just a lifestyle I thought was the lifestyle of the wealthiest person that I knew, which was my great grandfather. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, how do you afford 10 children? How? Like, this is like insane to me. That was the biggest stunt to me, to say that not only do you have 10 children, but I believe 8 out of the 10 graduated from college.
Wow.
I'm just
Yeah.
piecing it together,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's where I want to be. And it wasn't any place specific. Excuse me, it wasn't any place generic in Kentucky. I literally wanted to live in this house that I live in right now, which is the house of my great grandfather and great grandmother. Because I had so many childhood memories here, and then also our reunions used to be at Keeneland when I came here. So I was going to the racetrack, Keeneland Racetrack, for our family reunions, and just fascinated with just the racetrack. Never got
Mm.
involved with horses or anything like that. And so came to Kentucky after college, came back to New Jersey, and said, you know what, I need to make some money. So I started making some money and started making some babies. And fast forward, we'll say 1,000 failed businesses later,
A
met
thousand.
my beautiful 1,000. I tried it all.
Somebody
I
told
tried
me the
every.
other day, I can't remember if it was a human or a book. I don't know, but there was like this quote about, I know it was in the dark. Oh, it was in a book called The Dark Horse. What you know? What do you know about that? But it said that the prerequisite for excellence was failure. You have to fail in
Oh,
order to be excellent. And I'm curious, from your mindset, you're literally training in excellence in these horses. You just said you've had a ton of businesses. How has that shaped the way that you view failure?
well, what I was doing the entire time was I was separating ministry from business,
Let's talk about
and
that. What do you mean by
I
that?
just real. I was chasing a dollar. The
Mm.
only thing that was on my mind truly was providing for my family. And I separated that. And then on the side, just on a daily walk, if I can do something to help somebody, I would, or, just anything that I felt God would be like, good job, man, good job. That to me was what I call ministry, in any capacity, and if I can give something, or if I can even just spend time with someone or offer any kind of assistance or help in any way. I used to see people go to church on Sundays, and it was like, came Monday, church is closed. And I really
Yeah.
felt like that was like something I did not want to copy. I wanted to live that way every single day, every opportunity that I could. So I just kept chasing a dollar and failing straight on my face,
Mm.
and I don't think it was by coincidence, because I learned a lot along the way. I think I have my PhD in figuring out ways to not call it a failure, but just a lesson in it. So nothing is a failure at this point. If we do something wrong, did we address it? Did we address which would let's go down the checklist. How can we never make this mistake again? And then go forward a little bit wiser.
What was one of the hardest lessons you had to learn in building your life?
Um, I just kind of processed a lot of things recently that I'm enough. I'm enough. Like, I didn't have to go out
Come on.
and talk a certain way, or dress a certain way, or even think a certain way to impress anybody. I kind of got to a place to be just authentically me. And
Mhm.
I feel like that's when everything started to skyrocket. I was no longer a sales guy, the chameleon that had to mirror anybody's mannerisms or anything like that. I literally show up and just let God shine through me. And
Mm-hmm.
whatever you guys blame God if you didn't like it.
Yeah.
And so
I was just
that
talking to
mindset.
somebody. I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. I
No,
was
go
talking to
ahead.
somebody yesterday about how wild it is that we spend so much time, energy, therapy hours, the books, all the things just to try to get settled in our body and comfortable in our skin in this enoughness that our connection to God, that who we were designed to be innately, like that alone is enough. Not saying we shouldn't like pursue things and be great and so forth, but anytime we're acting out of the place of not enoughness, it's all from a place of ego. And it's really hard to see results outside of it. It's so wild, the most simple thing of just like settledness in your skin and connection with God and that enoughness. It's simple for you to say it, but it's like a lifelong journey to get there.
It is. And you just kind of enjoy the process. If I look back in different seasons, I'm really just a combination of all these different experiences that I can pull somebody to the side and say, hey man, it's okay. It's okay to be yourself, man. I know where you are. And
Yeah.
maybe share, tips or something like that that helped me out along the way. And I think everybody is just so beautifully, just like uniquely designed.
Hmm.
I don't have, you have, and you have things that I don't have. So I believe this whole world is created in a way that we really need each other.
Yeah.
And once you
Yeah.
start really into what that unique thing that God, gifted you with, holistically, we have everything amongst each other.
How do you stay busy and connected at the same time? Let me tell you what I mean by that. You have a
Mhm.
full schedule, you have a lot of responsibility, you have a lot of people, animals depending on you. Your lifestyle is very disciplined and you're go, 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 go. But it seems as though, your connection to God and being present is really, really important to you. And I'm curious how you keep a busy lifestyle with like a slow soul, if I may.
Yeah, yeah. I'm up before everybody else.
You're
Like
what?
I literally, I'm up before everyone else typically.
That's it.
A lot of times when people have, holiday breaks, that's when I speed up. That's when I work extra hard. When everybody is on chill, relax mode, I accelerate. And then when everybody kind of sobers up and it's like, oh, it's a great weekend this Monday. On Sunday, I've been running as fast as I can, just to kind of be ahead of things. And it allows me to kind of be in a more relaxed mode when everybody, and then ultimately, that's my ego speaking on that. It really doesn't make any sense how I'm able to manage so much.
Hmm.
It is God's grace. And I sometimes I sit and people are like, well, how many children do you have? And sometimes I immediately go to my horses as well as my children. And so I'm like, I don't know. I'm like maybe 9, 10, 8, 10, and I start counting. And then once you really take inventory, it's like, wow, I do have a lot of people that are depending on me. So it's
Yeah.
all God. I'm leaning on God's grace. The very moment that things feel like it's about to just crash and crumble, I'm cool as a fan, and God comes through. That's really what I've been experiencing.
What would you say to someone who's felt like they've lost their connection to God and
Hmm.
they're not in that flow state? And maybe they're working their, I'm going to say blessed booties again because I'm trying not to cuss on the internet. Their blessed booties off, and they're not seeing the fruit of their labor. They feel, I don't know if you've ever felt this way. I've felt it a lot where it's just kind of like, God, are you still there? Are you listening? Are you
Yeah,
hearing me? So what wisdom do you have at
I don't want
5:56 for that question?
I don't want to be too rude or I don't want to be too
You can
aggressive
be
with
rude.
this, but first thing that comes to my mind is you spoiled brats. Feel your heart beating. Feel your heart beating. Your heart is beating right now. If that heart stops beating, there is no more life to you. So if we just start with the fact that there is someone in ICU right now that is literally at the end of their life and all they want is their heart to beat. So if you bring that home and start there, I think that kind of just is like the foundation of the gratitude
Let's say
that we're
gratitude.
even having this experience. Um, One of the best things that happened to me is I had an injury in my jaw and I had to have a surgery. And I was literally in intensive care for about a week. I was, in my mind, literally dead for a
Mm.
week. And it was one of the best experiences. And people ask me all the time, why are you smiling so much? I am alive. Do you guys realize that I could have died in that ICU? I woke up with tubes down my throat and doctors saying that I had like 24 hours to live, all this crazy stuff. And I'm here. And so that to me is like enough. If nothing else, we won't even get into how you feeling good today, the weather or anything like that, or, I've got to catch the bus or I've got to walk.
Yeah.
When you start really processing, and this, I don't recommend anybody compare, but there's literally somebody who does not have feet.
Yeah,
There's
you're right.
somebody who does not have legs. And if you do, stand up and walk. I don't have like a soft version of that. I just look at it from the perspective that I believe God sees things, which is not only did I give you that heartbeat, but I also gave you purpose. And so
Mm.
it's like I'm just waiting on you to figure out your purpose. And once you do figure it out, and I'm going to guide you the entire way, but once
Yeah.
you figure it out, you'll have peace of mind of knowing that you're not just in the room. I have something to offer. I think the best thing that you can do is have the feeling of giving.
Mm.
Giving feels better than receiving. And if
Mm.
you have something to give, what a great feeling. So it's just a journey to figuring out what do you got in that treasure box to share with everybody.
Wow. I am so glad you said what you said. I've asked a form of that question multiple times throughout the years to different people, and I've never had anyone say you spoiled Brad.
Oh,
That was incredible.
I'm a dad. I'm sorry. I'm
No, I love
tough on
it.
my
I
kids.
love it. It's perspective, man. What you're doing is you're bringing in perspective. It's a gift that we're here, folks, on February the 3rd, 2026. I always love when Glenn says it's the last time it'll ever be that day because it's the last opportunity we have for this moment. I know minutes time has just completely flown by, guys. I know we didn't do our call out, so real quick, thank you for
Oh, and we
being
don't.
here.
One part. I'm sorry. We didn't
No,
do the
go.
dance part.
Oh,
Yeah, we got
we
to
can.
incorporate
I mean, we can
part.
do that. I don't mind. I sure
Yeah.
don't mind. Let me see if I what I got here. All right, this is what I got, and I gotta get the volume down a little bit because last time it was too loud. I know I did it too loud. Do you hear it? I need to
Yeah.
see some moves though from you because I'm the one always doing
We
the
got
moves
come
and
on.
nobody's doing moves. All right, and he's out. Trisha, good to see you. Michaela, good to see you. Greg, Nathaniel's in the house. Robin, Denny, um, Kara, Megan. I got short-term memory, y'all. So if I say your name again, Scott, good morning. Good to see you. Mike in the house. John, so grateful you're here. I just want y'all to all know that I can dance better than Tumba over here. Look at this. Yeah, that's right. Y'all regret that, don't you? Don't you? Before we get out of here, y'all, before we get out of here, Tumba, I have one final question for you, if you don't mind, sir. If you don't mind. If you can let us know a little bit, what does that quote mean that you put up here earlier? This was, you told me this was your favorite
Yes,
quote. So send us out with a little bit of context here. 8 hours to chop down a tree. I'd spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. Why is that important to you?
absolutely. It's all preparation. It's all getting prepared. Some people when they see the big show, they think that it's like, hey, they just have talent. And no, we put like that schedule that we just mentioned. We're up at 3 a.m. The horse is on the track at 6 a.m. This is not just we show up on race day and we perform.
Yep.
So that quote has stuck with me, and everything that I do. If it's a time that I'm supposed to be someplace, I want to be there early because I'm prepared, I'm ready, and my axe is sharp. And you can waste so much energy trying to chop down a tree with an axe that isn't sharp.
Mm-hmm.
You may hurt yourself. So having the
Yeah.
proper tools and being prepared for the moment, that quote just kind of embodies being ready for the race.
Amen. Amen. I want you guys to follow 800% Racing over on Instagram as well as Tumba Be Cool. And you're also on Facebook. And what you guys are incredible about. I got a message from Ty yesterday who was like, man, these folks are incredible. They send me messages and, words of encouragement. And he texted me and told me that. And I know that I've experienced it because the reason that I even know Glenn, that I'm here, is I was a guest a few years ago. They'll loop you in. So be careful being a guest. But I got just the most
I'm
encouraging messages. So if you guys will do me a favor this morning, drop a line to Tumba and just wish him a wonderful morning and his family all the love and support. Thank you for your time. You are so cool, and I could have talked to you for like another
Thank you.
hour. Thank you for getting up and investing some of your time with us today.
Thank you, Heather. It's an amazing opportunity. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you to the whole 800% family. I greatly appreciate the opportunity. Keep on winning, everybody.
That's right. That's right. You guys have a wonderful day. We'll be back here tomorrow morning with another incredible guest. Love you guys. Bye.